They rush in when we need help, but now when Western Massachusetts Fire Station needs help itself.
Someone broke in and stole thousands in emergency gear. Western Mass News reporter Matt Price getting answers about the brazen burglary.
Every day for the Chester Volunteer Fire Department is supposed to be simple. Take care of the trucks, make sure everything is on the up and up, and answer the call when needed. That includes having tools and equipment on standby in case of emergencies. 2 weeks ago, they realized something was very wrong.
I started checking this truck for anything missing. I went through all the cabinets and then I found the jaws were missing.
Yes, you heard that right. The Chester Fire Department was burglarized. According to Chief Nate Bolduc, firefighters at Station 2 responded to a medical call on the morning of June 29th. As they left, there were no signs of damage to the facility. At 7 o'clock the next night, one of the firefighters noticed one of that station's doors damaged, thus suspecting a break-in. That first responder told Bolduc, who inspected Station and Engine 2 on July 1st. It was then that he realized the department's fears. Tools used for responding to emergencies had been stolen. Bolduc and his colleagues left confused, having never seen anything like this before.
They were just completely blown away. They had no words, really.
Among the stolen items include cordless cutters and spreaders, also known as the Jaws of Life, a thermal imaging camera, and a Pelican flashlight. Thousands of dollars worth of equipment gone without a trace. Equipment that's needed for emergencies like car crashes, especially the Jaws of Life.
We can use these to pop doors open if we cannot open them with the normal means, or to cut the roof off if the patient is severely injured and we got to have access to the inside of the car.
Right now, the department is borrowing some Jaws from Fire Tech and Safety. Community members have already offered to help raise money for replacements. In the meantime, Bolduc's message to those involved in this crime:
what were you guys thinking? This was completely uncalled for. We're a small-time department and we worked really hard to get these Jaws.
Bolduc tells us fire departments from surrounding towns will also install cameras should something like this happen in the future. Massachusetts State Police is still investigating. So far, there are no leads and none of the tools have been found. In Chester, Matt Price, Western Mass News.